Hello and welcome to a What Sold video. This is everything that sold for me on the platforms I made sales on from April 20th to April 26th. First one I'm going to share with you is Pango, and it is going to be also a thank you to Nancy. Nancy is a grand supporter of this channel, and she purchased a bundle for me off of Pango, and it's a bunch of books that either did not sell on eBay or were stuck in my death pile. So Nancy, thank you. And it is this, The Hate You Give, Looking for Alaska, The Catcher in the Rye, and Go Set a Watchman. We have 2 classics and 2 modern fiction by popular authors, which both of those perform very well on Pango, even when a subscriber isn't the one purchasing them from you. Those are items I would recommend picking up if you decide to sell on Pango, but this is the amount you could expect for them. So maybe if you have some of these books languishing on your shelves and you want to make some space for yourself for more titles, Pango is a great place for that. Pango is like a 4th book selling platform for me, and I'm really happy with how it's been performing. And Nancy, again, thank you for your support. I'm going to move Miss Moxie here. Here she is, looking grumpy, but I promise you she's happy because I'm here and she is getting attention, which is really all cats care about to begin with. I have a surprise to both myself and to you. I have a Poshmark sale. This is an Escada sweater. It sold for $70 on an offer, and that is because of the fact that I had taken pictures of this a long time ago when I finally got Karen, as you guys can see. This was a 2-piece wool set that I picked up at a thrift store for $7. I separated the 2 pieces to sell them separately in hopes that it would sell faster and for more money. The problem is that I did not notice there was a dust mote artifact in the pictures that I took. So it looked like the back of the sweater had a white, pale stain on the back of it. But the sweater itself was in flawless condition. It just looked like that. So the person on Poshmark messaged me and asked me, hey, is this just a weird reflection on the photo, or is there a stain on the back? I told her no, it was just the camera. I'm so sorry. Affirmed the fact that it was 100% fine. She went ahead and purchased it from me, and then when she got it, she left me a great review saying it's in even better condition than she had hoped. I'm really glad that this sweater moved on to a new home. I'm really happy for the, $56 I got after Poshmark took their fees, and I'm glad that at least half of this set has moved on to a new home, and I now know that I need to pay better attention to the pictures. Yeah, I have a new phone now, so hopefully that won't be an issue because the new iPhones have better, you could actually do modes with the new iPhones. Anyway, if you hate Apple, I can't help you with that. It's easy for me to use. So I'm gonna move Miss Moxie one more time as I share with you my eBay sales. So the first sale on eBay, you're not going to be surprised, is a set of books. This is a 1960s copy of the Foundation trilogy by Isaac Asimov. So it's the original 3 books Foundation series, science fiction series. It sold for $18 on an offer, and the buyer paid for shipping. And the next item is a thank you to Melissa, because I believe she was the one that gifted these to me. It's a pair of J. Crew shorts, sold for $12, and the buyer paid for shipping. It was 100% free to me, so Melissa, thank you. This is from the big vintage buy I did. I have a quarter into this because I picked up over 400 pieces of clothing for $100, and they've been slowly but surely selling. This sold for $18, and the buyer paid for shipping. Again, I have a quarter into this. I rarely pick up Nicholas Sparks unless it's in very good shape. Most of the Nicholas Sparks, if I find it in very good shape, I will list it on Pango. However, I do check Nicholas Spark books to see if they're autographed, especially when it's easy for me. Like in this one, you can see there's literally a sticker on it that says autographed copy. So I did pick this up at the bins. I paid 50 cents for it, and someone bought it from me for $24.87. So even though if you find Nicholas Sparks books, unless you are interested in reading the book yourself, it is not necessarily worth flipping for most people, but autographed can be. This is a Washington Capitals hat. This also came from Melissa. This sold for $11, and the buyer paid for shipping. She also gifted me not the hat buddy. Hat buddies I have to wash the hats. It's like an insert you put in a hat to make it fluffy or make it look like it has a head in it without having a head in it. She gave that to me, and it works great. So again, Melissa, thank you for both things. And I love listing hats because it's just like listing a book. You take front, back, inside and you're good. This is a vintage 90s piece. I had hoped that this would fit me, and unfortunately I do have a long torso and this was a very short knit. I definitely wanted to wear this. It's perfect colors for me, but unfortunately, like I said, it's too short. Sold for $10. I had originally purchased this for myself to wear, so I'm happy that something I paid $2.50 for ended up selling for a profit even when I could not wear it. Y'all who have been here for a while know how much I love buying and selling pearl snaps, Western wear. This is a 2XL tall Eli Cattleman shirt, sold for my full asking price of $21.87. I just love selling Western wear. When it's in good condition, it can sell pretty well for me, and I think I paid $4 for this at a thrift store. Another book, this is The Emergence of British Power in India. I would not expect most of you to pick up this book. This is part of Daniel Abow's estate that I managed to come across at the bins. I bought most of the books. Daniel Abow was the leading British maritime historian in the world, or the premier British historian in the world. For those of you that are across the pond, he passed away. He lived in Williamsburg. He passed away last year in February. And I managed to get right place, right time. So I picked up a lot of his books. This sold for $20.19 with free shipping. So it cost about $6.13 to ship this book. I have 50 cents into the book, so I still made 10 bucks off of the sale. Happy that I am very happy that I was able to rehome a piece of his library and make a profit doing it. This is White Fang, a classic piece of American young adult literature. It's classified as YA, but it's more like middle school age. I feel like most of y'all know the story of White Fang. I think it's also been Disneyified at some point. This was a part of a big collection of these children treasury books that I picked up at the bins. So I've had 50 cents into this book. I actually sold the other books in a lot. So all the rest of the books I actually photographed together and sold as a lot. The White Fang one I separated out because I realized that I could make more money off of the set if I separated this one book out and then sold the set separately. I wouldn't have been able to sell the set for more by including this book, but I would make more money by excluding this book. I hope I explained that properly. Anyway, the set sold first, and then this has sold for $9.87, and then the buyer paid for shipping. This is The Secret Adventures of Charlotte Bronte. This is a book I picked up at the church book sale that was by the boys' house. I picked it up because it was a fill a bag, so $5 for a bag, and you can bring your own bag. So I could fill up an IKEA bag and pay $5 for it, which is cheaper than Ben's pricing, which is pretty much what I did. And I made so much money off of that sale. So I would say I have like 10 cents into this book. It sold for $3.47 and the buyer paid for shipping. It was just something I wanted to try to see if general fiction would sell well on eBay. This is now something I would actually list on Pango and not list on eBay. Eddie Bauer piece, another piece from Melissa, as you guys can see here. I do like picking up Eddie Bauer, LL Bean, Columbia, that kind of stuff at the bins or at Diversity, or when Melissa decides to share it with me. It's inexpensive stuff, but it does sell for me. Normally sells for in this range, $10 to $20, but that bread and butter stuff keeps the bills paid. So I'm really happy about that, Melissa. Thank you so much. Just a nice little, sleeveless top, cute little purple top. Purple people love purple. And that is like the last thing I have to share with you for this week. It was nice to make sales on 3 platforms. That hasn't happened in a while. As I mentioned before, Etsy, there was a snafu with Etsy, and then because of the snafu with Etsy, I kind of stopped cross-posting stuff because I got very angry and frustrated. At the end of this month, I will probably be reinvesting my time into cross-posting and getting Etsy sorted out, because the reason why I haven't had the desire to do so is because normally Etsy for me is a fall-winter performer, not one that normally performs throughout the year, if that makes sense. Now, if I cross-posted more on it, maybe that would change, but currently not worried about it. I will get back on that horse after I come back from my vacation. So Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope sales are doing well for you. I know summer slowdown is a thing people like to talk about now. I know why my sales are slow, so I'm not going to attribute that to summer slowdown. It is just me. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye. Bye.